I was born ready. My name is Matt Gleason. I'm your host. This is Modern Art Blitz, our 80th episode. Yeah. We've got some great guests tonight. Later in the show, Devora Freed, Mike Street. But right now, an artist who's shown for many years in the Southern California art scene. She's up to the museum level, and you know, you can't get any higher than that. Ladies and gentlemen, the esteemed Linda Vallejo.
Oh, what a
How you
doll
doing?
What a doll you are.
Well, you know,
What a doll
that's
you are.
my job's to be a doll.
You're a doll, yeah.
Okay, anyway. Hey, so this is the first episode that I've ever worn shorts for.
Really?
You know,
nice knees.
It's 100 degrees out there though, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're watching this in December on YouTube, because we archive this on YouTube,
yeah.
You'll look at Linda's top and my shorts and be like, so there you go. Hey, so Linda, I think you're best known, and correct me if I'm wrong, for your series Make 'Em All Brown.
Make them all Mexican.
Make 'Em All Mexican.
Same difference, really.
It's
basically the
yep.
same difference. Yeah.
So you have well,
there we go.
There's your now. This was legendary
I like
because
them big.
this was on the
big.
cover of Artillery Art magazine,
Yeah, it
right?
was, yeah, it
So this
was.
was and a very iconic issue for to be inclusive. Tell us about the genesis of your Make 'Em All Mexican series.
Oh my God. I was traveling a great deal, looking at a lot of work all over the nation, and I saw a lot of repurposed work. Tons of it, as a matter of fact, in New York and Texas, Florida, California, even China. And I thought to myself, what would it be like if I made repurposed work from my cultural point of view, Latin American point of view? So I began collecting objects to see what I could come up with in terms of repurposing. What could I make an object out of this? Could I make an object out of that? What does that mean? How does that look? You know, all the questions that you ask yourself when you're looking, searching for the image. And one day I was in an antique mall. I probably know every antique mall in Southern California, and I found the Dick and Jane primers.
Fun with Dick and Jane.
Fun with Dick and Jane. See Dick run.
We were all
see
educated.
Jane, yes.
We were all educated on this, right? That's like the classic Americana.
Totally classic, totally Americana. And I said to myself, "Oh my God, I could paint them brown. I could make them brown."
It was like that.
It was like
oh!
this, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I began collecting antiques, all kinds of images, photographs, magazines, album covers, antique objects of all kinds, statuettes, statuary, everything, and making everybody brown. And so, well, you have Superman now. There he is.
We had Fred and Barney. Now we have Superman. You made
Yeah.
Superman. You've made him Mexican.
I made him chocolate. Yeah, I did.
Oh, you made him
brown.
chocolate.
Well, I made him brown.
Is
I
this
him
made
brown.
out of chocolate?
No, it looks like it is, but actually it's repurposed plastic, and then it's car paint. I actually had a car guy painted.
Wow.
So it's car paint and actually metal flake. So the way that you keep this guy clean is by polishing him with car
Turtle
polish.
wax.
Yeah, that's right.
For our guests after the show, a free turtle wax. Okay. So now tell me, you know, because Dick and Jane that's like the most Americana, like the peak of empire, and certainly
50s.
all America is illustrated as, you know, clean, stable, white, heterogeneous thing. I mean, it's like everything that has kind of crumbled under the reality of the diversity of this country. So starting at that point, you've gone on to a wide array of Americana being browned.
Yes, history has changed, culture has changed, class has changed, everything has changed. The whole trajectory of history, the trajectory of power and access is all changed because all of a sudden Marie Antoinette is brown. All of a sudden Louis Auguste is brown. All of a sudden Marilyn Monroe is brown. All of a sudden all the presidents are brown. What would happen if Elvis Presley had been brown, as a matter of fact? Would it change the way culture really happened? I mean, rock and roll would be brown.
Well, in the 80s we had Elvis.
We did have Elvis.
Did you ever see Elvis perform?
No, I didn't.
You never saw Elvis? I saw him perform at Lace in like the 80s, and I thought he was great.
He was pretty good.
And then like 20 years later, he was still performing.
Yeah,
I was like,
wow.
right on.
Right on.
Yeah. So now you are from Los Angeles?
Yeah, I'm a native Angelino.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm an Air Force brat.
Oh.
So I grew up all over the world, Europe and the United States. I went to high school in Madrid. I went to middle school in Montgomery, Alabama.
Wow. Whoa.
I think that's the bedrock of Make 'Em All Mexican, is the fact that I went to...
You've actually seen the world outside of, like, I mean, LA is a pretty integrated city. I mean, even if there are segregated neighborhoods relative to more to class necessarily than race, but when you go around the country, you're kind of reminded, you know, it's not as diverse anywhere else, right?
Well, I was pretty much the only brown girl for hundreds of miles in many of the situations where I lived and where I studied. But I had a lot of chance to see a lot of really great art. I went to a lot of great museums. I saw a lot of the antiquities of Europe. Did a lot of work, and that all sort of took the last 30 years or whatever to build up to be able to make them all Mexican.
When did you first decide, way before this project, that you wanted to be an artist or that you were an artist?
When I was 4.
Whoa, 4?
Yeah.
Do you remember the moment?
Yeah, I do. It was a really wonderful moment. My kindergarten teacher had us on our hands and knees doing finger painting on big pieces of paper with an egg for Easter. And I was on my hands and knees with the paints and my hands in the paints, and I was swirling around with the paint, and I went,
uh-oh. The smell always gets them.
I was just insanely in love with the colors and the smell and the goo and the feel of the paper.
Wow.
And then when I was in first grade, I was really lucky. I had a teacher who made us read literature and then do illustrations on easels with paintbrushes and paint. So I actually got a chance to work with literature and work with the other arts to be able to bring about, to find image out of words, which is a lot of what I do still, is find image out of words.
And so now, to advance it, when did you actually land in LA for good?
1975. I came back for my MFA out of Cal State University Long Beach in printmaking.
Now that's a hands-on school. This isn't, Cal State Long Beach has a long history of not being theory land. This is like, hey, if you're here to be an art major, you're actually going to make an art object, have the experience of learning a material, right?
Well, Cal State Long Beach has one of the best printmaking studios in Southern California. Several presses, lithography to the bone, etching to the bone, lots of really good opportunities to be able to work with paper.
So you were there, and then you got a master's degree?
Yeah, MFA.
Wow. So and that was back when college was affordable.
Yeah, that's when I went to. I had a full semester for $215, including parking.
Woo!
And healthcare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Adjust that for inflation. It's still only like $1,000, right?
That's good. I like the way.
What do we got here?
Oh, this is called La Victoria. La Victoria, of course, is the Winged Victory, and she's made chocolate too.
And again, this is auto paint enamel.
Because
I'm actually thinking, like, you know what? I need a box of See's candy for some reason.
I know.
Mean, it's like why? What has dropped the hint in my mind? But it's actually now is this based on like a sculpture from antiquity?
Oh yeah, this is the Winged Victory.
Now, so and you just went to like an antique store and found this?
No, I went online and bought this online. As a matter of fact, I do all kinds of shopping online, and then I bought like $3,000 worth of antiques.
Ooh.
I have 200 of these works in different sizes.
This isn't one of those like the Getty had to return to Italy because it was stolen, nothing like that?
That would have been more fun.
That would have been
a lot more fun. But you said it right out. You nailed it because they look like chocolate, then the joke is brown is delicious.
Oh, well.
Brown is sweet.
Very few would contest that assertion.
Oh, I'm happy about that.
So now you've shown, when did you start the series?
2011.
Okay, now before that you already had an extended career, right?
Pretty much working really hard, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I went to openings of yours, my God, I remember like early ones, way early, like in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, you've always been shown, you've been part of the scene. Do you consider yourself, your work wasn't always fundamentally political like this work.
No.
So did you have an awakening, or have you always been active in the Chicano scene, or did you see yourself in a wider category?
I've always seen myself in a wider category than anything I'm ever involved in. I'm involved in lots of stuff.
Okay.
But because I traveled all over the world and had a chance to be involved with lots of different things, I tend to see things stacked in multiple ways. I've been involved, of course, with Chicano art movement since I got back in '75 with self-help graphics, where I started my alma mater. But there's a lot more to look at than just Chicano art, as far as I can tell. I mean, there's a lot. There's antiquities, there's modern work, there's all kinds of things. Fundamentally political, what happened was I was doing fantastic realism landscapes for about 15 years. And then it took 30 years of being involved in a socially conscious political environment to make political work. I tell the story that, when 9/11 happened, everybody was doing flags. Everyone was out there doing flags. And I said to myself, no, I'm not going to do flags. It doesn't really resonate with me. I just don't want to make objects for sale around this very tragic issue. I'm going to wait until something happens where 9/11 hits me, and then I'll know. I still haven't made my 9/11 piece because it hasn't hit. And it took 30 years for me to find this social, political image based on my experiences being a brown person. Being a brown person in a pretty complex world that has a lot of issues with the politics of color, the politics of class, all of these things.
You know, if you're watching this video and you could rewind, because we archived the show, we're doing it live, of course, but the way you started that answer, you're just so, I've always loved you're just so certain. I've just always like the one thing, it's like when I first met you in the first art shows, it's like, poof, man, she is certain of who she is. So I just, that right there, you could put in a nutshell. This is Linda Vallejo.
Oh, thank you.
So tell us what we're looking at now.
This is actually a little boy blue, only it's a little boy brown. You know, when I went to antique malls and when I went to estate sales, one of the very iconic images that I saw out of Americana, because we're looking at what your grandmother collected, what my grandmother collected is now in the secondhand stores, right? I saw a million little boy blues. I still have some of them in the studio that I haven't painted yet because there were so many of them. So I kind of went crazy, made a little boy brown and brownie, you know, Pinky. I did.
And you got a little Dia de los Muertos.
I did a little Day
too.
of the Dead thing on there.
Now
I just couldn't help myself.
You know that Gainsborough's Blue Boy is actually owned by the Huntington.
Right, I've seen it.
I think we need to get a show with
the two of them together.
I think we get the two. Now is this is a little statuette, right?
Well, I have several of them. Some of them are like this tall. Some of them are like this tall. And this particular one is about 27 inches high.
Who the hell collects Gainsborough? I mean, you know, just go buy the damn painting.
You would be shocked at how many people actually had the little boy blue in their house. I mean, didn't your grandmother collect all these little figurines and all this stuff?
You know what, my grandma, my one grandma collected fans.
Oh yeah.
And mahjong boards. You know, she loved the mahjong times.
Yeah,
and then the other one collected. It was all ivory, which is you can't even have them. Its possession is illegal now.
Yeah.
My God, she had all these little ivory carvings and stuff. Poor
stuff,
fucking elephants now. But you know, this is when I visited my grandma in the 1970s, and they're both born in the 1890s.
My grandmother had one of those mirrored, those frame mirrors that had like the little plateaus in them, and on them was like, I remember one of them was Cinderella. It was like the coach and little white Cinderella with her little blue dress and everything. This is my grandmother living totally out of East LA, you know, born in Texas.
And still Cinderella was
but it was these little white figurines of like little 19th century tri-cornered hat, you know, Quaker types.
Oh my God. So you, what part of LA do you live in now?
I live in Topanga.
How is Topanga?
Oh God, it's paradise.
How long you been there?
We moved in 2001. We built a house and moved in 2001.
You built the house?
Yes, we did.
Okay, has it changed much?
You can't move there anymore.
What do you mean?
It's full.
Oh, it's okay. Every lot's
There's nothing
taken.
else to buy over there. I mean,
Okay.
everything's for sale, but all the prices have just kind of gone skyrocketing. Like the rest of LA, everything's very expensive. Living in Los Angeles, it's an expensive town.
Oh yeah,
very expensive town.
You know, if you want to play in the major leagues, you got to put on the major league
uniform. If you want to live in LA, you got to pay for it, man.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
So what are we looking at behind you now?
Okay, we're looking at the new series, which is called the Brown Dot series, and basically what they are is. I translate Latin American population data into abstract form on architectural grid paper using brown dots. In this case, what you're looking at is a pictograph, if you will, of the county of Los Angeles. Okay. In this area, there are 48,400 squares because it's architectural grid paper, right? 48,000 times 48.3, which is the percentage of Latinos, is 23,377. So in this piece, there are 23,377 dots representing the Latino population of Los Angeles. It's translating data into visual imagery.
This is the first time I've seen this, and I'm speechless. It's like that never happens.
Thank you.
I'm like, wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
I've translated population data, workforce data, health, religious data, all kinds of data, anything I can find on Latinos on a national basis.
Are there still a lot of Catholics?
55% of all Latinos are Catholic.
In LA County?
No, in the United States.
In the United States?
In the United States.
What are the rest of them Mormons?
No, there are a lot of Christians. I would say 30% are Christian. Protestant Christians.
Catholics are Christians, aren't they?
Well, they are Christians, but they're not. I mean, they're.
Last thing I want is a theological debate.
You know what I mean? They don't. You know.
I understand. Yeah,
they don't have the saints. The Christians don't have the saints. They don't
pray to the saints.
They don't have the sacraments. They don't have the sacraments. They don't listen. They don't have to.
Why bother? If you're not getting any sacraments out of the deal, why bother? Oh God! Come on, bread, wine, help me out.
But you know that the United States right now is 23% of people in the United States, regardless of race, creed, or color, do not claim a religion at all.
Really? And that's probably the highest it's ever been.
It is. It's the highest it's ever been, exactly.
About time.
And so I would think that that's probably Latino too.
Who's this?
This is actually a portrait. This is a Latino portrait, and this is based on high school, I think it's high school data if I'm not mistaken. Can you read that?
Yeah.
I think it's high school data over a series of years. So I stole, again, I'm appropriating this image of a Latino from the internet, making a pigment print of it on grid. I've created my own grid, and now I have a series of data formats superimposed on that portrait.
And what is the data format we're looking at here?
High school graduation rates over a series of years.
And what are the high school graduation rates?
You know, they're going down. I think the high school graduation rates are at about 50%.
And they're going down?
They're going down, yeah.
Oh, geez. Why do you think that is?
Well, probably people having to quit work, having to quit school to go to work.
Just to actually, make ends meet.
Make ends meet, yeah.
Pay the rent. Ooh.
A lot of young Latinos have to take care of their parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, very powerful work, Linda. Do you have any shows coming up? I want to make sure if anybody's watching, do you have anything coming up that people should know about? Do you? Okay. It's an hour-long show, so you're gonna.
I'm involved in PST-LA.
Oh wow! Congratulations! That's with the Getty.
Yes, it's the Getty Foundation initiative. I'm the lead curator for self-help graphics, Day of the Dead, Legacy, Past, Present, and Future. I'm going to be showing with PST-LA with Marisa Chiacciolo out of Building Bridges in Santa Monica at Bergamot at the Museo in Orange County. I'm going to be showing with SALT Fine Art in Laguna Beach. I'm going to be showing with, this is all
PST.
I'm going to be showing with BG Gallery at Bergamot. I have a solo there called Keeping It Brown.
Nice.
And I'm also showing with the, it was in Ventura. It's a Studio Channel Island.
Oh, it's Channel Island Studios. Yeah.
I'm doing a landscape show, actually. There were 2 other Latinos. The good news about all these shows is I'm surrounded by a lot of Latinos from all over the world. Cubanos, Centroamericanos, South Americans, Mexicanos, and Chicanos. So it's a really nice grouping of Latinos that it's always nice to be involved with a bigger world.
Awesome. Well, again, rocking and rolling. She's been happening for many decades and will continue on. And now she's got the seal of approval from the Getty itself.
Oh my goodness.
Who would have imagined it?
Not me.
Linda, thank you so much for being on Modern Art Blitz.
You're a doll.
Do I get my present now?
You know, I brought this for you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
What did I get? Wow,
there you go.
Jeez. Future guests, please take note.
Have fun.
Ooh, wow.
I wrapped it up for you.
Wow.
There you go.
God.
There you go.
It's like Christmas. Oh, man. Oh, geez, if my grandfather could see this, he hated the Queen.
There she is.
The Irish don't exactly have the highest respect for the royal.
Well, she's Mexican now.
Nah, she made Queen Elizabeth Brown. Oh, wow, this is a treasure.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Linda.
My pleasure.
Hey, Linda Vallejo, thanks again.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after this.
Go for it.